In theory, this should be the ultimate commuter e-bike. But unfortunately, there's one major concern I have about this. So let's start with the good things. It's relatively light and it easily folds. And away we go. We also get fold in here. And we get fold in here. The carbon belt drive is incredibly smooth, quiet, clean and low maintenance. The display is good, even in this bright sunshine. And the controls are just great, even the loud bell. The handlebar is on the narrow side, which is important for getting through those tight gaps. And did you notice there's no gear selector up here on the handlebars? This hub motor also has an integrated 2-speed gear system. The front fork is plenty good enough with the option to lock out the suspension as needed. The rear rack may not look substantial, but it has a hidden support underneath the mudguard here, which connects up to the frame. It's a lot more rugged than it may appear. And let's not forget the very important metal mudguards that are covering these 1.95 inch wide 20-inch wheels. You can probably tell from the 64 tooth front sprocket that this thing can get up some speed. No doubt this is a bike for commuters who like a bit of speed. This is one of the few seats that I found comfortable and I wouldn't feel the need to change. Now, this big hefty seat post is actually the battery. You have a quick disconnect here, you can quickly pull this out, take the seat post on the battery with you when you lock it up for security. It has an on and off isolator up the top here. Of course it comes fitted with lights as standard and it is speed limited to the legal limit. Of course the kickstand, that is essential. But there is one omission. There are no bosses for a bottle mount. And I have just rubbed mud all over this beautiful blue frame. Ado, my 8-year-old son, thinks you should make bottles that go in the bottom of that seat tube there. The brakes are just fantastic. And for once, these hydraulic disc brakes, the right-hand lever does the front brake and the left-hand lever does the back brake, as it should always be in the UK. Don't care about the rest of the world. The torque sensor and the rear hub motor deliver really smooth, effortless power. And most of the time, especially on the flat, I can't see the need for even getting out of power level 1. Now let's get up some speed on the flat here. And apart from my camera mount being loose today, we're just pinned at the speed limit. And because of its lightweight frame and its relatively slim tyres, you can actually push through that limit with your own legs. And on a downhill stretch, of course, I have seen 50 kilometers an hour on this little bike. That's 30 miles per hour. What is the one sticking point that makes me have reservations about the Ado Air 20 Pro? Well, for me, it's all about the gear ratios. Those 2-speed gears in the back, they are not right for me and the way I like to ride. Now, this may well be different for other people, and I'd like to think that the people who make this bike know better than I do. But for me, my cadence is important. It's important to the comfort of my riding. Those people not in the know, what is the cadence? That's how quickly you are spinning your legs. So it's like your RPM, your revolutions per minute. And unfortunately, I just find the gearing just far too long. So I'm currently cycling up a small incline, 15 kilometers per hour. I'm in the first gear, the lowest ratio. And it's a strain on my joints. And all I can do about that is turn the power from 1 and turn it up a few notches and then let the motor do all the work. And so for some people, this bike will be more than fine because it's got plenty of torque. So it can pull you up the hill by itself. See, as soon as I hit about 18.5 kilometers an hour, that's when it automatically shifts me up into the second gear. So the Addo Air 20 Pro, hopefully you can tell that on the whole, I'm a big fan. There's that one issue that doesn't quite gel with me and my riding style and my riding preferences. But it seems like Addo have already addressed that in their Ultra version of this same bike. The Ultra goes from a 2-speed to a 3-speed, and from what I can see, they greatly improved the ratios that would fit more with my riding style. As always, I try my best to get you the best deal so that it's not just this content that should be informative and helpful in your buying decisions, but also I want to make sure that you can get the best discount available. So look in the description below for any discount codes or anything that I can get from Addo for you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe, and that just annoys me when I even say it out loud. I hope it doesn't annoy you as much. See you on the next video. Oh, you're still here. Well, this is now the sponsored section of the video, so thank you to Addo for sending me this bike. These are a few things that they wanted you to know. The carbon belt drive, maintenance free for up to 30,000 kilometers. It's extremely quiet during riding, as we've already covered. It's resistant to slipping off the track, so you can't lose it out of these grooves like you can with a chain, for example. And it's significantly cleaner, so it won't get your clothes dirty when you're commuting. Addo wanted to clarify that all of their bikes are UK and EU legal for road riding. They undergo extensive testings through their own lab, which is SGS certified. They conduct multiple tests, including the battery safety, the frame strength, the braking performance, motor efficiency, and the controller reliability to ensure that you have a safe riding experience. They want me to show you how quick and easy it is to switch between eco and sport modes. They say press the power button twice. If I do that, it does nothing. And then press plus and minus to switch modes. So I'm in sport mode at the moment, which gives me 5 levels of power adjustment. I got here by holding down the plus and minus, and then I have to input the system password, which was 0000. And then once I got in there, I could go to power mode, and I can change between eco and sport. So perhaps there is a shortcut and an easier way, but I can't figure it out. To be honest, I've just left it in sport, and I find between 1 and 5 is absolutely fine. Addo say that eco mode is ideal for longer city rides and battery efficiency, while sport mode provides stronger assistance and works best for hill climbing. And then last but not least, they wanted me to show you how to remove the seat post, because not only is that for security if you leave the bike out, but also the charge plug goes in here. So instead of wheeling the whole bike into your home to charge it, you can just whip the seat post out and plug it into charge. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring the key with me. And so there's a little lock on here, and this lock here stops the seat post. See, you can't undo it. So it is locked. Perhaps I'll have to take you along with me home, and then we'll have another crack at it. Right, to get the seat post out, disconnect the power cable. So just the blue lock, pull it out. Pop the key in here, open that. That opens. There you go, nice and tight. Here's our little charge port, which flaps up that way. Max insertion, minimum insertion. Nice easy indicators for putting it back to your seating position. And this battery pack is 37 volts, 10 amp hours, so 370 watt hours. Should we try folding it? Complete fold, this one this way. Kickstand out the way. Okay, and it will rest there. Nice and compact. Whether you can see it, it has a little magnetic attachment that keeps these two ends together so they won't easily separate. Okay. What about carrying it now? Okay. You can do a one arm carry if you really need to. Get it on and off the train. Yeah, it's a folding e-bike. That's everything from me, everything from Addo, everything from the sponsored section. Now you can definitely turn off.